All right. Hey, good evening out there to everybody out there in YouTube land or out there on shortwave. Hey, if you're listening out there on international shortwave radio station WBCQ on 7490, you're watching Amateur Radio Roundtable. This is a show about ham radio, about shortwave listening, electronics, and we are so glad you're with us tonight. We would like you, well, let's see. You're listening on the radio, so you're probably not watching the show. Now, for all you guys watching the show tonight, I would like for you to hit that subscribe button, if you will. I'm going to help you out here a little bit. That subscribe button ought to be right down there somewhere. If you'll just kind of hit that, that'll really help us out a whole lot. Join our Facebook group. It's grown a lot. It's grown a lot this past week. We've got about 14,000 members now in our Facebook group. We picked up about 1,000 members, I guess, this week. So, and it's because of all the controversy and all the balloon shoot downs and all those kind of things. So, anyway, join us. Join our Facebook group. It's just called W5KUB. W5KUB. We'd love to have you join us in that group. Now, back to if you're on shortwave. If you're on shortwave, you're actually listening to the show Thursday afternoon between 5 and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This show is actually live. It's a video show, and it's live on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on W5KUB, W5KUB.com. And if you'd like to join us on our video show, we have a chat room where you can talk with us or other people around the world. We'd love to have you on Tuesday night. Send us an email. Let us know where in the world you are. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. tom@w5kub.com. So, hey, tonight we've got a lot of things going on. We kind of got an unusual first segment here. We got some people in here from, it's called All Things Unexplained. And we're going to talk more about that in just a minute. You might can try to figure out what that means. I think it's going to be an interesting segment there. So we got that. I'm going to show you the retro VFO I built. And let's see, what else? I'm going to show you that. We're going to spend a lot of time on, later half the show on the balloon shoot downs and pico balloons. There's a lot going on now. You know, the military got trigger happy, and now Congress is trying to pass laws that they don't need to pass because it's already in the FAA regulations, which we follow. We'll talk about that later. So, hey, just to give you a quick idea of what's going on here with the shoot down and everything, somehow my name came up in an article in Aviation Week magazine, and I started getting calls. I tried to stay out of this for about a week to 10 days and didn't talk to anybody, and then I just got just swamped. You know, I had Aviation Week. Let me see if I can remember some of the people that I interviewed with. Aviation Week, Forbes magazine, The Guardian, the Daily Mail, Associated Press has run a big story on this, and we are in just about every newspaper around the world. India, New York Post or Times, I don't know which one. It's everywhere. We were contacted by CNN. My name is plastered on Fox's screen, and it says Biden says we didn't put 10 balloons over China, and then right under that it says Tom Medlin. It says Tom Medlin says they brought over pico balloons. But anyway, hey, I was on News Nation TV Friday night, Newsmax. The BBC contacted me. We had a big interview on British Broadcasting Company Sunday morning. And a lot of different podcasts. So that's kind of taken all my time the last few days. In fact, it was so bad, so many people were starting to call. Kathy had to do an Excel spreadsheet, and we were trying to lay out time slots because everything was starting to overlap here. So anyway, hey, Glenn, let's go around the horn here a second. Let's see. We got Alan to join us. So Glenn, come in here a minute and tell us, Glenn, what you've been up to, man.
Oh, I've been working on that review for QST on the Dr. Arduino inventor board. Just about got that finished up before I start on the next book, which is going to be Arduino for Ham Radio. This one's going to be published by Elector over in Europe. And
that's cool.
Going to come up with some new projects for them. So we're just about fixing to start building some really new and crazy things.
So are you gonna write this in Flemish or French or maybe?
Actually, they're a German and Netherlands-based company, so I guess I'm going to have to start writing in Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch or Flemish, you know.
Yeah. No, fortunately, they're in English, so I stand a chance at
well,
getting it done.
I hate to read it if you publish it in that
if
language.
I tried any other language, yeah.
I hate to.
But, yeah, we're getting started on that. Let's see, what else? Still recovering from Orlando. I mean, that was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Next up for me, I think it's going to be the Memphis Free Fest, and then we got to get ready for Dayton in May.
Yeah, well, you're going to represent me up at Dayton after 40 years of going.
No. After this week, you didn't even put your call sign on these balloons, and you're still getting all of this publicity.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know. When I get no publicity, and you want me to be
I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it.
It won't work.
But look, hey, I've been there 40 years. I guess I'm getting burnt out. I'm not going to Dayton this year. Dayton, Ohio Ham Fest, probably one of the world's largest ham fest. I've always enjoyed it. But I got really tired of going. Last year was just kind of disappointing for me, and it's a long drive, 500 miles up there. It's expensive. Yeah.
Well, I flew last year, and I'm still debating which way I'm going to do it this year because, by all accounts, I will officially be retired by Dayton time.
Well, that's great. Now you'll have time to write on your books, and then you're going to have to retire from that.
I made the decision today to just do it. I'm done.
That's good. Good. So. You'll love retirement. All right, hey, let's move over to, we got Alan in here tonight. I don't know what his time frame is, but hey, welcome, Alan. Let's see, who we got? We got Bill coming in. Let me add Bill to our show here. And, wrong button. Man, you would think I hadn't done this in a while. I've been doing it every week for 9 years. Okay. I just approved Bill. Bill will be joining us. Hey, Alan, man, how you doing, man? Are you busy? You traveling a lot? We're glad you're with us tonight.
Hey. Good to see everybody. Good to be here. Yeah, busy. Yeah, that's an understatement. So work has definitely been picking up, and been out on the road quite a bit. But actually, I have local trips in New Jersey tomorrow and Thursday. So not out on the road, out gallivanting around. So going to come and join you tonight.
Well, good.
But keeping busy. Been doing some more Parks on the Air activities on the weekends, so been having fun with that. And but otherwise, same old.
All right, well, we're glad to have you tonight. Have you heard any of the balloon stuff going around?
I was spending so much time in the car traveling. I got listening to a mix of music and news. So just heard all the craziness, and then I ran across you a couple of places. Said your name a couple of places. I know they've been calling on you as an expert witness, so to speak.
So far, I'm not at Gitmo, so I'm okay. I'm okay right now, man. Yeah.
And you haven't changed.
But I tell you what, if they send me to Gitmo, I've got this video with my friend astronaut Doug Wheelock launching a Pico balloon, so he's going to go with me, and he's pretty high up in NASA right now. So
the operative word regarding Gitmo is you're not there yet.
Not there yet. All right. Okay. All right. Very good. So let's see. Bill Brown. Hey, Bill. How's your internet tonight? Are you on, Bill? Where'd Bill go?
Yeah. Hi.
Where'd he go?
It's been an exciting week, that's for sure. So we've been fielding off reporters and different stories, and just got an inquiry from Scientific American, so that ought to be in this.
Well, that's great, guys. I want to tell you a quick story here, real quick, about Bill. He had a friend text him the other day and said that the secretary that Bill's email, and here's why I don't put my email on my tracker when we launch it. They said that Bill's address was on the tracker they found, which I knew they didn't find a tracker. and they said the Secretary of Defense is wanting to talk to Bill, and I think he was getting a little nervous there for a minute, and then Bill.
They knew what to say exactly to prank me, and they did a good job.
Well, I knew who's the Secretary? Is that Austin? No, that's Secretary of Defense. That's the other guy.
You hit one of these Pico balloons with a $450,000 Sidewinder missile, there's going to be nothing left to find. It's going to be vaporized into tiny little bits.
Well, yeah. And, I don't know what all that is. What is all that stuff happening here? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. They were updated.
They're hacking in.
Is that what?
The update.
I don't know what that is. So, tiny bits. Well, when that $400,000 missile goes off, this is what it's going to explode right here. That's what it's going to tear it all to pieces right there. Okay. All right. Well, hey, glad to have you, Bill. We're going to get into a good discussion tonight. There's a lot to talk about. I know Congress is trying to pass the law now and make us put $2,000 transponders on every balloon. Our balloons won't even lift that. I found a little micro ADS-B transponder that only weighs 20 grams, but that's as much, if not more, than most of our Pico balloon payloads. Yeah.
And then you got to add batteries or huge solar array because they operate from 12 to 28 volts and have a high current drain. Then you got to put an antenna on it. So
well, you would think, and I guess we're getting into too much discussion at this point. We're not really ready to do it yet, but I just got to say this. Congress is going to try to pass a law they know nothing about. And there's already a law that covers this, and it's done by the FAA, who probably has done all the testing and thrown these little things in the engines and stuff, and they say, we're okay, but Congress thinks they know better. So, we'll see how it goes. All right, hey, stand by, Bill. And I want to bring in our next guest here. In fact, let's just bring them straight into the show, and we're going to start talking about this. I have on here with me Tim and CJ from All Things Unexplained. Now, that's a little different than our show normally is, but because of the balloons, a lot of people don't know what's going on. So we're going to try to explain it. And they've invited me on their podcast tomorrow night, so we're having him on here tonight, so you guys can become aware of their podcast. They've got a very popular podcast. You can be aware of their podcast, and you can join us tomorrow night on their podcast. I think we'll be streaming live on Facebook live there. So let's just bring them right in here and get some introductions. I just barely met them in the last hours. I'm going to start with Tim, I guess. Tim, come on in here, Tim, and talk to us, man. Hello, how you doing?
All right, Tom. Well, thanks for having us. And I have to admit, and I'm Tim Mounts from the All Things Unexplained podcast. Thanks so much, Tom, and the rest of you for having my co-host, CJ Derringer, and I on with you. And you know what? I happen to bring something of mine along just for this.
All right.
Tonight. I happen to have my own ham radio, and still
now,
trying to
now
learn
you're
how to use
interested.
it.
You're interested in getting your license, right? I think you've got some study
Yes.
material, and you've got a radio already.
Yes. I
All
feel
right.
like I'm halfway there.
Good. You're probably more than halfway there. That's great, man.
And I have to admit, I'm one of the guilty parties that spent a good bit of time trying to figure out how to track Tom Medlin down. And I have to tell everybody, he's kind of a legendary, enigmatic figure in the UFO circles right now. And
oh, really?
sure enough, everybody's out there looking for him. He's kind of like the Dr. Hynek of modern times now. And I was so honored that he would take my call this week. I tracked him down. He was nice enough to give me his cell phone number. I gave him a call. And from my neck of the woods, too, near Memphis, I grew up in North Mississippi with our other co-host, Smitty, who couldn't be here tonight. But on All Things Unexplained, we talk about everything from Bigfoot to UFOs to hauntings to astrophysics. And we were on this Chinese spy balloon story from the beginning. I mean, the second anything started happening with the Chinese spy balloon, we were on it. And then, holy moly, we had a flurry of activity, to say the least, over Super Bowl weekend. It never let up. For the first time in U.S. history, we're shooting things down over U.S. airspace, over Canadian airspace. We're shooting UFOs down. These headlines haven't been seen since 1947, Roswell, New Mexico, when a newspaper ran a story that we have shot down a flying saucer. And guess what? In 1947, the next day, retracted by the military, because guess what? They said it was a balloon in 1947. And here we are again. History has a way of repeating itself, right? 2023, we admit we're shooting down UFOs, and they're saying it's balloons again. So we are honored to have Tom on with us tomorrow night on our Facebook. You can find that at All Things Unexplained Podcast on Facebook. And then the audio version will go out on all podcast platforms on Friday night, Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you can listen to your podcast. We can't wait to talk to Tom and learn more about ham and balloons and the hobby itself, and to also learn some technical specifications of these balloons, because that's one thing the mainstream media does, is they grab onto one of these stories and they're on it for 5 minutes and they just kind of kick the top layer of dirt, right? They don't give you any of the details that you need to know to determine if this is even valid or not. Is it even possible that the military shot down and confused a balloon from the Northern Illinois bottle cap balloon brigade for a UFO? Is that even possible? Well, we're hoping Tom can give us some insight into that tomorrow night. We can't wait. And then our listeners will have a lot of questions for Tom as well. And he said he's going to be gracious enough to take those.
Well, let me do this. I'm bringing your website up. I guess this is one of your websites right here. Can you see that? All Things Unexplained right there. So just, hey, guys, check it out. And I think you might enjoy it there. Hey, let me just say one thing about this. I'm not an expert, but here's my prediction. This shoot down, I think it was 98% Pico balloon and maybe 2% alien. 2% alien. Yeah.
Well, they're just confusing the ant bodies for aliens right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's bring CJ. Let's bring CJ in here a minute. CJ, how you doing? Where are you,
great.
CJ? Where are you?
So I'm CJ Derringer. I'm in North Carolina. Tim and I both live in North Carolina, and we met, 10 years ago now, maybe, playing volleyball. And I grew up in Southern California. I had not ever thought about things like UFOs or Bigfoot, certainly not ham radio, until I met Tim. And as you can see, he has a passion for all things unexplained. And he brought me onto the podcast thinking that I would be the naysayer. But the more I've learned about everything, the more I'm just a huge believer and now total conspiracy theorist about all things. And goodness, to hear all of the different organizations that reached out to you this week to have you on their show, I'm so honored to be here on yours. I feel like I have lots I could learn from all of you. So thank you for having us, and we look forward to having you on our show tomorrow night.
Well, we're so glad to have you. Hey, our numbers are starting to build up out there and viewers. So probably there's a number of people who hadn't seen this. I'm going to run a little 10-second video here for everybody that missed it. This is what we're talking about tonight, guys. Now, you guys on Zoom, you're not going to hear any audio, I don't think, but everybody else hears the audio. It's got some great audio in the background. Here we go. All right, I got it off. man, I can't find the right buttons to press tonight. Anyway, hey, I wanted everybody to see that. You know, hey, that was not a U.S. airplane. Somebody told me that wasn't a U.S. airplane, but guys, I want to tell you something.
Not.
I want to tell you something. This balloon travels around the world, and it hadn't been reported too much, but the Romanian Air Force did launch. We have a friend that's flying. The Romanian Air Force did launch yesterday or the day before to try to find his balloon, but when they got up there, they couldn't find it. So it didn't get shot down. I'm not sure if it was NATO or just I think it was Romania Air Force, maybe. I don't know. Wow. Okay. So, well, there's probably a lot of things in ham radio unexplained. We just need to get you guys up to speed on things like propagation and sunspots and all this stuff. You know, I mean, that might make a good show for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all unexplained to me. I truthfully know nothing about ham radio. Tim would have to be the one to chime in there. But I am open to learning, certainly.
Yeah, yeah. So how long has your show been on now? The All Things Unexplained?
So we started during the height of the pandemic. We started in July of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Tim? And
That's
I think
right.
From that day, we put out a podcast episode every Friday night. We haven't missed a Friday, so I'm certainly proud of us for that. We've come a long way. Oh my goodness! I keep begging Tim to take down some of our earlier episodes that are not
I'm
very
proud of
flattering,
those.
and he refuses. So I understand, but yeah, we've certainly come a long way since our early times, as I'm sure you have as well.
Well, we've been on about 9 years now, but we really got more active, I think, during the pandemic to launch balloons. That's about all you could do, you know, sneak out, launch a balloon, come home, you know. Oh, man.
That sounds like a lot more entertainment than what I've got going on. I've got 3 little kids, so I'm mostly just full-time mom during the day and then amateur co-host to a podcast at night.
Hey, I like those earphones you've got.
Yeah, they're my child.
They're kind of glowing. They're
5-year-old.
kind of glowing in the dark, aren't they? Wow.
Mine broke, and I've yet to replace them. So these are my child's earphones.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, they're quite fun, actually. They're very bright. And
Yeah. Well, speaking of bright, I mean, I'm looking at my picture here. I've got red cheeks. I've had some medical stuff going on with my cheeks, and they're almost back to normal now. But man, I was thinking tonight they're going to look normal, but in the camera they look terrible. Oh well. I know people are probably wondering about it. They've been commenting on it about every week for the last month. But
people are commenting on your cheeks.
I got what?
So people are commenting on.
Well,
your
yeah.
cheeks?
Well, hey, it's been a lot worse the last 3 or 4 shows, and I mean, it's
it looked
really,
like
it was
somebody
really
painted
out there,
big red
So,
dots on the side of his face.
Okay.
so yeah, they were wondering if my wife beat me or what happened, or it was more like I told them, I gave them the true story that I visited the Arkansas Nuclear One power plant just a month ago, and I had to pee, and I was in this group, and I told the guy, the leader, I said, "Hey man, I got to go." He's no, I'm the only one here. You can't go. I said, "Man, I got to." So I said, "Okay, we normally don't do this, but go on down there and don't go anywhere else." Well, I went somewhere else, and I looked in this room here where they had all this water and they're lifting these pipes and stuff, and then after that I got thrown out of the building. So maybe that's something for an unexplained show,
Now, Tom, you're going to have to be careful visiting these nuclear facilities and other government installations, because there's a known phenomenon where UFOs have interactions
Yeah.
with nuclear facilities, and if they spot Tom Edlin there now,
Yeah.
that's going to start to raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, I was just reading in the chat room. Someone was talking about the UFOs and the nuclear sites here. So, yeah. But anyway, hey, we'll survive it.
Maybe
We'll survive it.
98% nuclear and 2% alien.
Yeah. I think you could probably 2% alien, maybe. Now that's what we got to find out, guys. We got to find that 2% out there. I think there's a chance they could be there, and hey, hey, I don't know if you guys get into anything like this, but I do believe there could be life on another planet. I mean, there are billions of other planets out there. Why couldn't there be life on another planet that we just don't know about?
We get into that a lot actually on our show.
Yeah, and just think about this. They may be 5,000 years advanced ahead of us, or they could be 5,000 years behind us. We don't know where they are, and we'll never know.
Actually, we do know where most of them are. They're in Memphis.
Oh yeah, well that's true. There are a lot in Memphis. Maybe you guys aren't need to interview a couple of them.
We're probably some alien kid's science experiment that he got a C on, and it's sitting in we're sitting on a shelf in his room.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. All right. Well, hey, what else do you guys want to say about your podcast? Other than we're going to have a great time tomorrow night, and I'm inviting everybody here to go over to All Things Unexplained tomorrow night and join us. And
Looking forward to it. And we love to take listener questions during our show. So if anybody has questions for Tom that don't get necessarily answered on this show, bring them to our show tomorrow night, and we'll get everybody involved and see if we can get down to some answers with these balloons.
So I understand tonight, you guys actually will be streaming this on Facebook Live, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what is your Facebook group called? Is it All Things Unexplained?
It's All Things Unexplained podcast.
Okay. On Facebook. So guys, go to that on Facebook and join us tomorrow night. And I think it's at 9 o'clock Eastern. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I got to get all my kids to sleep first.
That's a little late. That's a little late for you guys on the East Coast here. I know Alan up there. He goes to bed about 9:30. Well, but he has to take the dog out walking first. So
All depends on where I got to go the next morning.
yeah,
But we
I
can
guess so.
attest that it pays off for a paranormal podcast to be on slightly later.
Well, I hadn't thought about that, but
We get a little bit more interesting interaction.
you probably get a lot more interesting people late at night. The ones that can't sleep.
We're not quite ready to compete with Coast to Coast AM yet,
Yeah.
but around 9 o'clock seems to be our.
Have you guys had
our good
anybody?
time.
Have you guys had anybody on it? We're actually abducted by aliens.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I'd love
We've
to
not
hear.
only
And-
had folks on. CJ, I'll let CJ cover that.
So
So I wanted desperately not to believe this story. I did not grow up believing in aliens or paranormal things. And I just thought, okay, this person that we're having on is going to be a total quack, and we're going to lose value for our show. I believed every single word that came out of her mouth. I mean, I truly did. She had a great story. We also had somebody come on our show that does electric voice phenomenon, where they can record alien voices using a certain type of phone and then play it back. We've had Avi Loeb on our show, who's an astrophysicist. He's the head astrophysicist at Harvard, who has a bunch of arguments for alien technology entering into our solar system, and he's actually going to be searching for it at the bottom of the ocean. And we've had just really incredible stories of people on the show.
Did I hear you say that somebody actually had a recording of their being abducted? Or
They were not abducted. So this particular one, they were not being abducted. They were recording alien voices that you can't hear just with your own ears, but their phone was able to pick it up, and then they could play it back. And he has a whole documentary about it. And
that's cool,
these
man.
voices were actually predicting the future. Like, he could ask the voices questions about the future, and they were giving him answers in these recordings. So that was a really interesting show as well.
Well, this is
That's right. Some of you may have heard of electronic voice phenomenon, EVP,
yeah.
and it's generally thought to involve ghosts or spirits or the souls of those who have passed on before us. But we were shocked when he told us that they're actually not ghosts, that he's recording they're aliens. And not only did we talk to an alien abductee, CJ left off the best part, the alien abductee we talked to was actually forced to undergo an alien surgery on board their spacecraft, and she lived to tell the tale.
Now, are these aliens, are they good guys or bad guys for the most part? Do we know
in
that?
the case of the abduction, she never felt scared or threatened. In fact, she felt that her life was very enlightened afterwards. And then with the electric voice phenomenon, he said that they're a little of both. That they can be fun and playful, and that they can actually be quite devilish at times.
I'm hoping to be abducted, and maybe they can implant in my brain like where I can speak like 4 foreign languages or something.
Wouldn't that be
when I wake
great?
up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
There
now
are
let me-
reports of that too.
There's what?
There are reports of folks being abducted and coming back and speaking different languages.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now
Oh,
I
wow.
get to tell mine. Back in 1977, I
Wait.
was working out in the middle of the Florida Everglades doing some microwave work.
Were you abducted?
No, I was not, but I got to meet up with a Bigfoot researcher, and he actually played the audio recordings that he had from 1977. And turns out that he was one of the predominant Bigfoot researchers of the era. And we got to spend an evening with him. It was really cool.
So what was your take on the recordings?
It was unique. I mean, having grown up in Florida, I thought I knew every animal, and that was nothing I'd heard. The gentleman's name was Robert Morgan, and it turns out that he was one of the big Bigfoot researchers of the time.
So, Glenn, what does Bigfoot sound like? Give us a rendition.
No. You're not going to get that out of me.
Oh.
It sounds like me when I just hit my toe on the corner of the bed.
You know, Florida's skunk ape territory. So
Yeah,
Bigfoot is known as skunk ape in some parts of Florida.
right. Yeah, I grew up in Miami and went through the Everglades many times.
All right, well, Tim and CJ, thank you very much for being with us tonight and sharing that with us. And hey, you guys are welcome to stick around as long as you want to tonight and pop in or out, anytime you want to. We'd love to have you there. And hey, join us each week if you want to.
Yeah,
We
We'll
appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah, I sent you a link in the kind of the meeting chat through Zoom here. If you're truly interested in getting your technician class amateur radio license, I annually teach what we call a ham cram, which is a class that's actually run during a computer festival here in New Jersey, and we just basically review all of the technician class materials during this class. I mean, there's not enough time in one class to teach all the materials, but it just gives you a review of all of that, and it's certainly something you can use to review the materials after you've done some prep before you go do a test.
Now, Alan,
Great, thank
the
you.
questions have changed. Didn't they change maybe a month ago or something?
Well, the questions actually changed. Well, the question pool was revised in June last year.
Okay.
I have revised all my materials. In fact, I'm going to be doing this ham cram again next month, live in front of students. But the amount of material that changed is really just wordings of questions and things like that, and a couple of new concepts were entered in. But they consist of a very small portion of the 35 questions that you'll get asked. So the 99%, or should I say 95% of what is in the ham cram, that recording that I have that was probably 2 or 3 years old, is certainly applicable to the tests that are still being given today. So.
All
That's
right.
great. Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that.
Thank you, Tim and CJ, for being with us. And
Thank you, guys.
I'll see you tomorrow
We
night.
appreciate all of you.
I'll see you tomorrow
All
night, man.
right.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good.
See you
All
then.
right.
Hope everybody can join us. All Things Unexplained podcast. Find us on Facebook tomorrow night. Can't wait.
All right. We'll see you. Thanks.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Well, that was interesting to kind of have a new and different and unique segment on the show tonight. Wow, that was fun. Should have talked to him about the flat Earth deal. I'd like to know that, but I didn't want to keep going with the unexplained part, for the rest of the show. Let's take a quick break. Be right back in about 1 minute, and we got some other things going here, guys. We're going to show you coming up. A lot of fun. Cabin fever? Spring into the new year with ICOM. ICOM's newest amateur FM transceiver is the IC V3500, and it's ready to hit the road with whatever you're doing. With a compact body and simple interface, this radio is a must for those looking for a long-range mobile with a fresh look. The IC-T10 is a rugged portable that meets or exceeds standard military testing. With an IP67 waterproof rating, the IC-T10 can withstand any field activities ahead. Hear any transmission and listen to FM broadcasts with the loud 1.5 watt speaker. The IC705 is a perfect sidekick and QRP companion. Base station features and functionality at the tip of your fingers. It's a portable package. It covers HF 6 meters, 2 meters, and 70 centimeters. This compact rig weighs in at just over 2 pounds with an RF direct sampling. Most of the HF bands and IF sampling. The ID5100A is innovation and mobility taken to the next level. Designed from user input, the ID5100 offers an intuitive user interface experience with an industry-leading touchscreen display. Additionally, the ID5100 connects with Android devices and Bluetooth headsets via the optional Bluetooth module. The ID5100A is one of the most advanced dual-band mobiles on the market today. And last but not least is the ID52A. It's a VHF-UHF dual-bander with D-Star and FM dual-mode functions, and is the first handheld amateur radio with a full-color 2.3-inch waterfall display. This radio supports conventional FM communications and D-Star simplex repeater, regional, and worldwide calls over the D-Star Internet Gateway. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM Radio. All right, guys, we are back with you. Someone asked if we could turn the audio up a little bit. I can. Seems like something's changed or something. Does everybody out there have pretty low audio? Tell me, I hate to adjust it for just one person that maybe his speakers are low or something, but guys, give me a report on your audio and tell me if it does need to be cranked up a little bit. I can surely crank it up. That's not going to be any problem at all. Okay, all right. Hey guys, before we get into all the stuff going on, the military shooting down the Pico balloons, and Congress and everybody, pulling triggers and stuff. Before we do that, I got one more little segment I just want to run for you. And it's something I kind of threw together pretty fast. It's not real pretty, but it's interesting. And this is my retro VFO that I built up. And if you remember, we've been talking about it. Let's see this, Bill. If you remember, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks here. And it uses an ESP32. I guess that's the, what do you call it, Glenn? Would that be the processor, or what is that thing? An ESP32?
Yeah, ESP32. It's an expressive chip. I just call it a microcontroller.
Okay, it's a microcontroller. Yeah. Basically, that's it right there at the bottom of the picture, guys. And then the little screen, the color screens there to the right. The SI5351 is up at the top. And then you've got just down here about the 7 o'clock position, you got the little rotary encoder that changes the frequency. I did change the buttons out. Those buttons were too big. I did put it in a smaller box. So I got a little quick video here I want to show you on how it came together. And, I'm going to use it just as a little signal generator. And for the show, we may build just a couple little shortwave receivers. And if we do that, we might even use this for a VFO. And that will be a lot of fun there. So let me see if I can, let's see. Oh, I've got it right here. Okay, I'm going to run this video here. It's probably about 7 minutes or so. But it demos it and shows it. So here we go.
I still want that code.
Yeah, I can get it to you. Let's see. Here it is right here. Okay, here we go, guys. I think you're going to be impressed with this. It's neat. It's taking a digital readout, and it's making it look like an old analog mechanical wheel that's turning. So here it is. We've been
Glenn,
talking about building this
probably not gonna hear it.
VFO here for a couple of weeks. I finally got
Let's
it
see.
pretty much finished.
Maybe maybe you can hear it this way.
This is what we call a retro VFO. I'll show you why we call it retro in a few minutes.
No,
It's pretty
that's not what-
straightforward. It's pretty simple. 3 little modules. Here's I guess the processor. It's ESP32.
All right, you guys are going to get the audio. I don't have it queued up for the
A lot
audio.
of pins on it. A lot of
You
pins.
can get the audio on the
And,
stream if you
you
want
just
if you
connect
want
it.
to hear it.
Basically, I just used jumper wires with the plugs on the ends and just hooked all the different connectors up. This is the display, the color display, and over here is I guess we can call it the signal generator. It's generating from 10 cycles to 160 megahertz. So that's it right there. Let's take a look at it right here. So I got it in a little box right here. I think it looks pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. I'll show you kind of the inside of it right here real quick. If I can get it open. And yeah, there we go. All right, and I did a quick assembly to get this thing ready for the show tonight. So it's not just real pretty inside, but I'll show you what we've got here. As I mentioned, it's pretty much modules. Again, there's the little signal, our little transmitter, or the little RF output board right there. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it right there. It's got the SI5351 chip on it. That's the same chip we run on our super trackers for our little 10 milliwatt transmitter. Here's the ESP32. Again, I just use cables to plug in. You can see the plugs here. I didn't mount it in any specific way, so I just got it kind of tie wrapped here to keep it from getting over on top of this other board. It runs on 5 volts, so hey, I built me up a little 5 volt regulator back here. If you look at the back side, I just put a jack here where we can plug in any voltage from say 6 volts up to maybe 20 volts. It'll be okay. It comes into a 7805 regulator here. I've got a little heat sink on it. Don't think that's necessary. And let's see. Let's look at the front here. Let's look in the front. There's the encoder right there. That's the tuning dial, encoder. There's the display. Just got it kind of glued into the place with some adhesive. And we got a BNC connector down at the bottom. And then I added this. This is not in the schematic, but I added this. And this gives me a variable output for the RF signal. So I'm going to use this as a signal generator to just generate various signals, like if I'm working on filters or things like that. And also for a future show, we may just build up a little shortwave receiver, and we will use this as the VFO to tune a shortwave receiver. So again, we've got the buttons down here. Basically, are this provides this is the minus step, meaning we can get various different steps. I'll show you in a minute. Plus step, that's a memory, and of course, if you press the tuning indicator in, that also stores it in memory. So let's power this thing up and take a look at the output. Okay, so I've set the little VFO, the retro VFO, on top of my spectrum analyzer. Let's take a look at it, and we'll see. I'll show you how it works. Let's turn the spectrum analyzer on. Yeah, there we go. And it's booting up. All right, let's do this. Let's put in, let's put a start frequency of 1 megahertz. And we'll put a stop frequency in of, say, I don't know, 15 megahertz. All right. Let's go back to, say, 10 megahertz. There we go. Okay. So you can see, let me do a marker here. Let me do a peak peak marker. All right, that put our marker here on our fundamental frequency. And let's see. Okay. All right, so right now I've got a, to keep from blowing my analyzer up, I've got a 20 dB filter, or not filter, but a 20 dB attenuator in here, which is going to reduce our signal to keep it safe in our spectrum analyzer. So what I've done is I put this pot in here to give me a level adjustment of RF output. Now I haven't got the impedance down really where I want it yet, but still it's very functional. So I'm going to turn this level, and you'll watch right here. Watch the level, 0 dB right there. That's 10 milliwatts right there. 10 milliwatts output. As I turn the level down, you're going to see the signal go down. So you can start to see it go down and go down. More. So I can bring the signal level way down if I want to, or I can bring the signal up to maximum output there. Now the reason we call this a retro VFO, is because it has a look of a mechanical dial. Let's see if I can get a better picture of that. Looks a little dark. Maybe it's okay. But you can see, watch the scale. In addition to the digital scale here, you can see these two scales here that are turning. And that's not mechanical wheel turning. Watch this. So you can see the mechanical wheels are turning there, or the fake mechanical wheels are turning. And let's see, I'm going to change the step to like 100 kcs. There we go, 100 kcs is better. You can see better now. As I turn the dial, not only do we have a digital frequency readout, but we have an analog digital readout. The reason we call this a retro VFO is because the dial looks like the old style dials we used to use on our radios, where everything was mechanical. And so the software there is actually mimicking the old style VFO. So what we've got here is, I don't know if you can see it or not, right there, right at the top, it says step. We're on a 100 kc step. 100 kc step. And if I could use the down button, the 100 kc step will change to, there's 10 kc steps, 1. If I hit the plus, I can go up in steps. So there is 10, 100, and there's a 1 megahertz step. Again, the 1 megahertz step is going to make it tune very fast. This button is a memory button. I can press to store a frequency, or I can. This is a memory button that I can actually call memory frequencies up. The dial here, the frequency dial, you can press it in, and that will actually store the frequencies. So overall, it's a pretty neat little piece of test equipment that I built, and it seems to work pretty good. All right, we are back. So anyway, that was just a neat little project that I tried to throw together. I had a lot of trouble programming it, Glenn. We were, my friend Michael, AA6DY, is the expert programmer. He actually programmed it for me. We were both building one, and we tried to program it here, and on my computer we just couldn't get it programmed. We kept getting errors and everything, so he just sent me the one he programmed from up there. But yeah, hey, if you just do a search on YouTube for Retro VFO, you will find it there, and you'll also find links to the schematic and also to the GitHub software that you can, download the code. And hey, if you know how to do the code part, the software part, firmware, you're in good shape. I have trouble with that. I never was a software person. Anyway, that was it. So I know, Glenn, I don't think you probably heard the audio, but what do you think about it, man? It's kind of a neat little box.
Oh yeah, I think it's cool. Part of the thing with the ESP32 and programming is it does have a little bit of a trick or a glitch to get it to program correctly.
Yeah.
Of course, you also have to have all the libraries and everything installed, because the Dr. Arduino inventor board that I'm working with now is ESP32 based.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm learning all of those little tricks.
Well, I noticed sometimes if I turn fast too, it seems like it has little glitches in it. I think I need some kind of debouncing deal, possibly, or something. I don't know if
Yeah, that possibly on the encoder.
Yeah, I just put a cheap encoder in there. It's probably didn't cost more than 39 cents. So
yeah.
Maybe
the other thing I noticed is you kind of had a spur there on the signal itself.
You mean on the spectrum analyzer?
On the spectrum analyzer,
well,
yeah.
That was probably the second harmonic or the third harmonic.
Probably the third. The SI 5351 has got a square wave output. So
yeah, right. I was going to say the square wave on that 5251 or 5351.
Yeah, when you had the initial span you put up, you had the first and third harmonic, and then when you adjusted the span, you pushed the third off. There was still another low-level spur in there, but I don't think it was harmonically related or not. But the other one was definitely the third.
Oh yeah, that shows up. That shows up just like on our trackers that we fly. We're using the same 53 SI 5351 on our tracker. And if you look at it, it's got the same third harmonic there.
The second, the seventh, it's all going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Well, the second harmonic is quite low. I mean, you got your fundamental, I guess. Then your second harmonic is quite low, and then the third is a lot higher.
Well, that's a square wave.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Well, the square wave is 50% duty cycle. You're not going to have much of the even harmonics. As soon as the duty cycle starts changing, then you'll get some of the even harmonics in there.
So when I put a low pass filter on it, I noticed that I could bring that third harmonic way down, and it actually improved the output on the fundamental.
Yeah, you're going to have to find a way to smooth out that square wave into more of a sine to get much better with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
With that wide frequency ranges, you're not going to be able to do it with
I was going to say, I don't think I could do that over 160 megahertz range there. So, I mean, if I was using it for a specific frequency, very narrow, I could smooth it out. But, I wanted to use up and down a band. And again, I think it would work. What are your thoughts, Alan? If I build up a little shortwave receiver and put that in here as the VFO, do you think it'll work?
The thing is, using it as a square wave and using it to drive the LO of a mixer, that's fine, because oftentimes you want to drive a mixer hard to get good clean conversion. So that's really not an issue. You just have to be aware that you're going to have the other harmonic content in there. So you'll have other images that will land in your IF unless you do some pre-filtering beforehand.
Right.
Otherwise, a square wave drive into a mixer, for the LO is perfectly fine and sometimes preferable.
Yeah.
And you might have the added benefit of picking up some of those alien transmissions, Tom.
Yeah. I might be able to do that. Yeah. Well, anyway, hey, I just want you guys to see it. We actually completed it. I got it in a box. I'm not sure what I'll do with it now, but
it kind of reminds me. You look at the new big, monster Premier, Kenwood base rigs have got a software emulation of the old mechanical dials on them as well. Well, when I saw that, I thought it was just really neat, and I said, I gotta have that. Now, whether I use it for anything, I don't know, but I think it took a lot of work making that little rotary dial in there on that digital display. Oh, yeah, it's very cool. That and the software emulation of an analog S meter, type of thing. I think when it's done well, it actually looks really good. Like that's
Yeah, yeah.
that design's done well. Except the one that on the Kenwood TS 990 is done really extremely well.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about Bill. Let's get Bill in here. Bill, I know you've been bombarded with media. I have. I tried to stay out of it as much as I could. I've tried to tell the truth. I've tried not to. Send the media to a lot of people. I know the club up there. The club up there took their website down because they were just getting too much. They were getting bombarded too much. So you there, Bill? Yeah. He's
I'm here.
up. He's turning green. Bill's turning. They're sending me a green screen. Look at that.
The aliens are interfering with my transmission here.
So here's what's going on. And Bill, I've seen your notes about writing Kelly, the congressman. They're proposing, some stiff regulations now on balloons. Now, I don't know how that's going to. See, I don't think you're thinking this through, Bill, because.
The latest I saw
Yeah.
was that Senator Mark Kelly was recommending we put ADS-B transponders on all of our balloons, and I'm sure he doesn't realize that an ADS-B, even the tiniest ADS-B receiver, is basically 1.5 times the weight of one of our Pico balloons. Add in the batteries and the solar panels and the antenna, and you got a several ounce payload, and then $2,200 is probably the most reasonable price.
Well, see, here's what I don't think you're thinking through. Of course, weather balloons don't have that. They don't have the ADS-B on it. I don't think you're going to want to put ADS-B on every weather balloon.
Yeah. Well,
the Pico balloons.
ADS-B transponder. If you just did the squitter portion of it, that's just a program sequence. You don't have to have a receiver.
Right. Yeah. So, but I don't think you're thinking through. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of balloons up there, and there's no way you're going to get the ADS-B on all those balloons. So let's say they get it. Hey, Bill, let's just say this. Let's say there are 60.
And hundreds of these a day, all over the U.S. and North America, and almost 1,000 or more worldwide. And in the history of aviation, back to the Wright brothers, there's not been any problem incidents with striking an aircraft.
Well, Bill, here's and that's a good point. Here's what I'm thinking. There may be 40 Pico balloons up. I don't know. There's probably not a whole lot up there.
There's approximately, at any given moment, there's somewhere between 20 and 30 Pico balloons circling the globe.
Yeah, okay. So there's 20 or 30 up there. 20 or 30 up there, and they're going to require all balloons now. All balloons probably to have this. So, all right. So we.
Now, the one thing they haven't, there's. The existing rules work. That's the point I wanted to drive home. And we have an existing website and database tracking all these. All we have to do, the simple solution is to educate the powers that be where to find these websites if they have an object in question before they go shooting down a party balloon. Look it up on our website and say, hey, is that possibly? And the really cool thing is the HabHub website's got a tracking prediction point, so they can actually do the prediction to see if it's in the flight path of some object that they're interested in.
All right, Bill.
That's the easy solution.
Listen to this, Bill. All right. So there's 30 or 40 up there. They're going to require us to put these transmitters on there. Okay. So that's 30 balloons they won't shoot at. Now there's another 4,000 up there without this on it. Now, so look, I'm going to use some round numbers here. We've got 365 million people in the United States, I think, somewhere near that. That means there are 365 million birthdays per year.
Exactly.
If you divide that by 365 days a year, on average, there's 1 million birthdays per day. Now, if 10% of those 1 million are kids and they have a party outside with Mylar balloons, 10% of 1 million now is 100,000 balloons that are going to get lost. They're going to get turned loose. I mean, they're going to go up in the sky. So we're gonna take our 30 balloons and make sure they don't shoot them. But now there's going to be another 100,000 flying around up here that they're going to have to shoot down. They're going to have to shoot them down.
They reduce their radar so they see all the junk flying around up there, the tiny junk, and it's, as you say, birthday parties, weddings, used car lots, you name it. They're vastly outnumber what are 20 or 30 eco balloons that are flying around out there. And I think ours show up, the ones that showed up were using aluminized mylar coatings, and those show up on the radar pretty good.
Yeah.
The answer really is to education of, if you are really want to prove it's not one of ours, go to the website. And if they really require a national database, we can easily have our web developers send the data from our balloons directly to any kind of government server or database if they want to keep track of it. No need for changing the rules or ADSB that, these rules that exempt us and the National Weather Service radio signs have worked well for us for many years with no incidents.
Well, Bill, I thought
that's what I'm trying to educate, that you don't have to kick back and be afraid of all these things. They just turned the filters off and looked at slow moving objects, and now they see everything. They can probably see hummingbirds.
Yeah, and hey, Bill, I felt really bad yesterday. I thought I was going to Gitmo yesterday. We had my granddaughter was proposed to yesterday, to get married, and we had a party afterwards. We knew it was going to happen, so we had a party waiting for them at the future mother-in-law's house, And she took a Mylar balloon outside to tie on the mailbox, and the ribbon came loose from where it was tied on the Mylar, and it went up in the air yesterday. Man, I said, it was bad. So
it's all over time.
So hey Bill, so if Congress passes law, we're only one country. I mean, these balloons are being flown out of Romania and Sweden and everywhere. Australia.
Drive to Canada. We can ship them to Antarctica and launch them from there.
So
actually, you make a good point, Glenn. If they pass these draconian laws, hold on a minute. If they pass these very restrictive laws, the only place we can fly out of will be Argentina and possibly New Zealand and Antarctica and Chile and South Africa. So actually, I do have friends in AMSAT Argentina that probably be willing to do that for us, because they've been flying a heck of a lot of pico balloons down there. My friend Ignacio, LU1ESY. We have Charlie. I'm sure he would launch them for us. So,
oh yeah.
But that might be the way we have to go.
Well, what about Mexico or Canada? They haven't passed laws yet.
Now, Canada's got fairly restrictive laws, and keep in mind that they were the ones that agreed to shoot down the pico balloon over the suspected pico balloon over the Yukon. So I wouldn't think Canada. Plus, that's where all the NORAD radars are. So a good many of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
at the end of the day, yeah. But at the end of the day, they're just embarrassed that they blew a $400,000 missile on a $12 balloon and a $100 tracker.
Well, wait, hey, Glenn, you gotta add it up. You gotta add it up. There was one missile, two missiles, two more. That's four. Let's see, one, two,
the fuel to get up
there.
four. There was four of them, and my understanding is, after my research, I mean, the average, I mean, that Sidewinder missile varies in price, but the average price is about $399,000. I mean, they can go up to $1 million, so I guess if you got something special in them, but $399,000. Okay, so there was four of them, so that's 1.2 million, and then each one of those they sent 2 aircraft up. Now I'm told that costs $50,000 an hour to fly them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard 87,000.
Well, you got to send a tanker up with them too. I don't know why. You'd think they could come back to base, but you know, you got to send a tanker up, you know, and then 50 to 80,000. So we're talking some big money here. Now let's add up
millions of dollars for the world's most expensive arcade game in real life.
Yeah. And now they're embarrassed because they shot down a science project from a ham radio club that they should have known about.
Well,
So now they got to put all these rules to cover their butts.
And worse yet, Glenn, they're taking aim at STEM education and global warming research.
Exactly.
well, and you know, hey, Bill, I thought on one of the pages I saw today that the Naval Academy has been launching pico balloons for 10 years.
Yeah, I've been supplying them with trackers.
Yeah. So that's I saw the picture. I saw the picture of your tracker. The Naval Department has been flying these pico trackers. Plus,
and the Smithsonian Institute launched 15 of them last year as a project nationwide.
So, hey, let me ask you this, Bill. You know, the Great Plains balloon launch is coming up here in a couple months with you guys, where you're going to launch a whole bunch of balloons all over the United States, man. Anything
Well, actually,
going on?
we're going to launch them all from Huntsville, Alabama this time.
Okay.
And so
No remotes? No.
There might be some remotes, but mostly it'll be from Huntsville, Alabama, at the Severe Weather Institute next to UH campus. It'll be June 16th and 17th. Go to superlaunch.org to get the details, but ought to be an interesting conference, provided they don't require us all to put ADS-B transponders on.
Yeah. So, Mark, you said here's the BBC link. Is that our interview? I couldn't find it. Tell me if that's our BBC interview. Let me see if I can do a copy of that link. Control C. And I'd like to try to pull it up if it is. I haven't heard it. I hope it's okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one either.
Yeah, let's see.
You did a great job in the very limited amount of time
Well,
you had on that one interview that lasted 2 minutes.
Well, that was a pitiful interview on
And they asked you the hard question.
News Nation TV. I mean, I got one question, and the question I got is the one that makes everybody thinks they know the answer to. It's like, well, this thing's flying, and that's the only reason that's the only reason the military shut it down. It's a hazard to flying airplanes. That's the question I get. So I try to answer it. You know. Hey, look, hey, Bill. And I'd already talked to your producer. They don't even know what a pico balloon is. I had a pico balloon here. Let me see if I can show you this. I had a pico here for them to see on TV. Where's my mouse at? I lost my mouse. There it is. I had a pico balloon. See, here it is right here. I had a pico balloon here for them to see, and I also had them a built tracker to see. This is it. This is what's flying right here. That's it. And I got the one question and thank you, goodbye. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Mark is saying that link in the chat room is a link to the Russians launching radar reflectors.
Oh.
Not your interview.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Did you ever hear the song 99 Balloons?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was by Nana.
It accurately predicted the events today.
Yeah,
this
pretty much.
Because they actually did launch 99 balloons across the Berlin Wall, and it almost started World War III back then.
Hey, you know what? Kirby was on TV the other day, and of course, they're not going to ever admit that these were a party balloon because then it's a little embarrassing. So they're never going to admit it, and it says, well, we're not going to admit it until we find it and we can identify it. Guys, let me tell you, you're not going to find this. You're not going to find this. The balloon was vaporized. The balloon was vaporized, okay? There's nothing left of it. And this thing's so small, if it dropped in one piece out in the snow in the Yukon or somewhere, Lake Michigan, you're not going to find it. If it's in like 300 pieces, they're going to be quite a bit smaller. You're just not going to find it.
Probably floating in the stratosphere yet as vapor.
It could be. If they're vaporized, they might have just went up, you know.
But I couldn't believe the amount of the search effort they put into this when there's nothing left.
Well, let's go one step further. If it wasn't this club's balloon, why did the FBI contact various people?
Well, they did a Google search.
They were trying to get fact-finding and investigations.
Yeah.
Well, they were asked, you know, how did you find us? And one of the FBI guys said, well, we're the government. But the other FBI guy says, we use Google. And, you know, they just did Google and, you know, they found the club had a balloon up here and that was it, you know, so. Oh, man.
Yeah, but how did they make the link from it being the club's balloon that they shot down if they haven't shot down anybody's personal balloons?
Well, I don't know. Of course, it had the call letters.
The Sondheim website took a big hit even before the news articles showed up. There was increased traffic, so people were watching it both in the U.S. and China.
Yeah,
they were looking at our amateur radio pico, balloon websites.
Yeah, well, you know, I hate to say this, but hey, guys, would you like to buy a Huey, Dewey, and Louie T-shirt? We've got them on sale here. Hey, this was pretty cool here. I really like this one right here. You know, it says, I followed this Chinese balloon for 200 miles until I realized it was bird poop on my windshield. That's a good one right there. And then, let's see, I got another one here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Here, Top Gun, man. Top Gun.
Oh, yeah.
I feel the need for speed. Calm down, dude. You just popped a balloon. Oh, man. So, okay, let's see.
All they had to do was fly by it close. The turbulence would have taken care of it. They didn't need that $500,000 Sidewinder.
Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, speaking of FBI, I got a letter from the FBI 2 days ago. Right here, and it's actually a follow-up discussing the night that we were swatted when they sent the SWAT team into our show, and they're just telling us that you know nothing really has changed that much on the prosecution right now. I mean, they went and got the guys, they arrested the guys about a year ago. It took them 2 years to get to them, and then it's been a year. They still haven't brought them to a trial yet. But anyway, so hey, I'm on friendly first terms with the FBI. I've had them here at home, and I like the guys, young guys. In fact, one of the agents was an electrical engineer, and I brought him back here in the shack, and we had a good time talking. Let's see, I was going to find something else here. I don't think this would do very good for the balloons yet at long distance, but it might be something we try someday. I was going to try. Here we go. We've got a. This is our map, guys, and here's the thing. It looks like I'm not going to confirm it or deny it, but it looks like we went across. Looks like we went across China about 10 times. I mean, just counting. But again, this map could be wrong.
So when they said that we had overflown 10 times this year, they were just referring to you.
Hey, Bill, there is a Fox News, a friend sent me a screenshot off the Fox News TV, and it says, The Chinese said that we've flown over 10 times, and Biden says it's a lie. And then right under it on TV, it says Tom Medlin, host of Amateur Radio Roundtable, says it probably was. I've got the screenshot here. I can't believe it did that to me.
Well, that's great.
So I think the guys in Washington, Bill, they probably know some of us for sure. And they're not talking. You know what, man? They're really quiet up here.
Well, see, and this just proves that you never really needed to write your call sign on those balloons. They already knew.
That's right. That's right, man. Didn't have to. In fact, hey, the Associated Press, my buddy that helps me a little bit do the launching, his name's Ed, and if you look at any of those articles in the Associated Press, there's a big long article with us, and there's a picture right there on Associated Press that shows Ed holding the balloon. And I'm the one that was doing the video, so I'm really not in the picture. And I told Ed the other day, I said, man, when they call me, I'm gonna tell them you're the brains of the outfit. I said, I just carry the bag. I just carry the garbage bag that this balloon stuffed in. I don't know what you're doing.
All I can tell you is when I first saw the Aviation Week article that really broke the story nationwide, there was my face right center on the first photograph plastered all over.
Oh, yeah. It was your picture on there and my name in there. And actually,
I got calls from friends and relatives like crazy after that.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were, Bill. I figured you'd have been front and center on all of this.
Well, he's in there too.
We had some interviews with a number of newspapers and magazines. Stories haven't come out, or maybe they never will come out because now the media is off on another frenzy somewhere on another topic.
Well, hopefully they'll
That's the beauty
about this.
The beauty of when something captures the news media, there's a very short attention span.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll be the same way with all these rules and regulations they're thinking about trying to pass.
Well,
they did say that it would be difficult to get legislation passed because of all the different opinions. In fact, one senator just says, there's a bunch of junk up there. It's been up for years. Just clutter. Why bother?
Exactly.
Well,
but they could start a rules committee that could quietly start changing rules, but it'll take a while.
Well, Bill, Kelly is an astronaut. I don't really want to do it, but I was thinking we contact our friend astronaut Doug Wheelock. He's a ham. In fact,
I've already done that.
Have you? Okay. I was going to say I was thinking that we could contact him because I have a nice video of him launching a Pico balloon. So if they send us Leavenworth, they're going to have to take a big wig with NASA.
I sent letter to Mark Kelly on his website, and so I guessed what his email might be, and it didn't bounce.
Yeah.
One of my friends told me what the typical email address is for a senator, and so, but his website basically said, if you are not from Arizona and one of his constituents, then
he don't want to hear from you.
Coming from his constituents are take priority. So, I don't know if my comments will ever be seen by him, but I proposed, I showed the benefits to STEM education, weather research, and science by having these balloons with the current regulations, and I also mentioned that the tracking devices are already on them, and gave them links to all the places you can find it. So hopefully they'll take it to heart.
Well, usually Congress can't pass anything, but I don't know, man. They might do it this time. I kind of think they won't. I think they'll talk about it. Probably something else is going to come up and be the hot button, I think.
There'll be
I don't
some
know.
scandal somewhere that takes precedence.
But yeah, I mean, if they don't listen to people and they just go in here and make this new rule up, it's kind of like they're making a rule up on something they know nothing about, and they don't even know the history, and that there are rules and regulations already in place by the government for this.
Well, hopefully Mark Kelly will read his emails and messages, and we can. He's a very educated person, obviously, being a former astronaut, and he's also a ham radio operator. So I believe that at the heart, once he understands the full picture.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think Anthony.
My video keeps getting this weird interference, but I think it might be the government or aliens. I'm not sure which.
Yeah. You know, I had so many people calling me.
Outer limits.
I had so many people calling me.
Government aliens, yeah.
You know, my sister called me, and she watches all these different news channels and says, "Man, you really hit the big time now." She says, "Edward Snowden, you know, he's the guy that ran to Russia. He was the guy that blew the whistle that the government was spying on everybody. Anyway, Edward Snowden ran the article with our name in it, and she thought, well, hey, we've hit the big time now if Edward Snowden's talking about us."
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well.
But it's been quite a week, so things seem to have died down to a great deal. So.
Oh yeah. Well, it is really, you know, Bill. Thursday and Friday were the days it hit, and it was really busy. Like I mentioned earlier, Kathy had to do a spreadsheet. We had so much coming in, and it was starting to overlap that I was having 2 interviews on top of each other. And it just wouldn't work, you know. It wouldn't work, and that was Thursday and Friday. The weekend was a big relief. Nothing really happened the weekend, and it's been pretty quiet Monday and Tuesday.
On something else, I know I had an interview request from Global News, which is the Canadian big network, and they wanted me to interview with an anchor on the news, and I missed it because I was interviewing with a magazine, and that opportunity went away when I said I can do it tomorrow, and they were called back.
Yeah.
Nope, this is all yesterday's news now.
Hey,
That's right.
Bill, I sent you an email. Eric at QSO Today wanted me to join this big powwow they've got coming up here.
I'm the one that suggested that you can join it. He already had
I suggested
me and asked if anybody else would like to join that round.
I sent him a note back and suggested that you do it.
Well, he wants 10 panelists.
Oh boy!
On this QSO Today Virtual Ham Fest in March.
Yeah.
And so I'll probably get on there, and but if you're welcome to join it, because I suggested your name.
I'm traveling that week, going over to Russellville, Arkansas, and doing a presentation over there for the Ham Club, and going to my old college, and we're taking about a week vacation over there. So I'm not going to be able to do it.
Glenn, are you going to Dayton?
I'm planning to, yeah.
But Tom, you are not, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to go this year. I finally got burned out after 40 years. Plus, I'm getting too old to go, man. I mean, heck, man, 10-hour drive up there, 10-hour drive back. That's bad on the body.
Yeah, that's why I flew last year. It was so much nicer flying.
Yeah.
Well, my brother lives about 20 miles away, so that makes it a lot easier.
Well, theoretically, I'll be retired by then, so the drive won't be a big deal anymore. Won't have to take time off from work.
Now, you've got like a SUV, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, hey, man, if you'll put an air mattress in the back, I'll go up there this year. I'll just kind of sleep it off in the back while you drive up, man.
That's a possibility because I
See-
mean it's a Ford Explorer, so I mean
See,
it seats,
I can just sleep back here when we'll make a pit stop here or there. We'll get some lunch. I'll go back to bed. Back there, put some music on. You just keep trucking, man.
We could probably do that.
You just keep
but
trucking.
We haven't decided if I'm driving or not yet.
Yeah,
You'll have to kick in for gas and stuff.
yeah.
And I don't know what I'm going to do with you when I'm staying at the bed and breakfast.
Well, you're gonna have to run taxi service
No.
for me.
No, my car doesn't say taxi service on the side.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I figure that I'm going to probably be doing book signings and stuff at Dayton, especially if they get my new book out in time. There's still the possibility.
Yeah. Well, guys, it seems like it's quieting down here on the show tonight. Are we ready? Are we going to terminate this thing, or are we going to stay on a little while longer? What do you want to do? I've got a 2 hours. I got a 2 hour slot. We got a 2 hour slot for radio. So either I can go 8 to 10 here with us, or I can go 7:30 with pre-show music to 9:30 right now. So I just need to fill up my 2 hour slot on shortwave.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
You want to open it up to after the show?
Oh yeah, let me do that. Anthony joined a minute
that'll
ago. Let me. Yeah, I didn't. You know what? I was going to open the phone lines and everything tonight, and I didn't do it. Let me.
I don't even know how Anthony got in.
Let me. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's open up. I'm going to open the phone lines and Zoom. Let me put that in here. I'll open both up. And let's see if anybody in the last. We'll spend 30 more minutes here. See if we can get some precipitation from the group here. So, guys, there's that information, and let me bring the phone system up, and I can find it. There it is. So we're going to bring the phone system up. Now look, guys, we could take 1,000 calls simultaneous. I've never had more than about 3, so let's see if we can't test the system tonight. I'll have it up here in just a moment. Takes a second for it to come up. But let's see. Let me see if I can put the phone number on the. Let's see if I can put the phone number. Here we go. There's the phone number on the bottom there. I'm sending the Zoom link in the chat room. Oop, I don't know, join a meeting. I don't know if I did that right or not. Let's see. Zoom is slow. Oh, okay. No phone. All right, well, if you don't have a phone, I can't talk to you. All right, so I think the phone system up. Let's see. Oh yeah. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, they got that same music. They need to change their music.
You can hear the music okay?
It's kind of clipping and stuff.
Yeah, okay. Hey guys, call that number. We'll put you on the telephone. Call 716-427-1083. And you'll get the code when you get an answer there. Just enter the code 407051 #.
Yeah, fourth caller gets a free Pico balloon.
Yeah.
Shot down only once.
And I was going to show on the TV show the other night, but they didn't ask me for it. They cut us off pretty quick. But I was going to show. This is what's flying up there. Basically, this is it. I mean, can you see this? Can you see it? Glenn, can you see that right there? Glenn, can you see this?
I can barely see it. The chroma key's not real good.
Yeah, well, that's because it's invisible. I'm not so sure radar reflects off this that much. So what happened was they're flying a balloon very similar to this, but they were flying the one in the Yukon that got shot down was actually it was the aluminum. It was aluminum one, same size. So you can see this probably did reflect probably a good radar signal. So, I think we're flying stealth. We went across the U.S. today and didn't have any problems. We should be getting close to Africa tomorrow, I'm thinking. All right. Okay, let's see, just reflections, barely, yep. If you guys want to turn the elevator music off, you've got to call that phone number, and that will turn the music off. Let's see if we can get somebody to call us. I may have to call it. I have my phone with me.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing this evening?
Hey, Anthony, how are you doing, man?
I've got my issues, but I'm trying to get through them. I had some
Okay.
somewhat good news on Friday when I went to see the eye doctors, but they're going to be putting me back on the table again probably soon. To open up my eye a little bit more. Hopefully, maybe I might be able to see.
Well,
Did
I
you
hope so.
happen to change the phone number for the call-in?
No. I've got the number up. I mean, it changed about a year ago, but this is the number. 716-427-1083.
I'll have to check my phone book because I have a
Let's
different number.
see.
But, Bill, I do have a question to ask you regarding the balloon situation.
Yeah.
With amateur radio clubs launching balloons, how is that going to play in this mess?
Well, if Congress has their way, they're going to tell you you've got to put a $2,000 transmitter on it, and it weighs probably about 2 pounds, and this thing will only lift about 30 grams. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but the balloons that my club have launched have transmitters on for the payload, and they use it to track it and so forth.
You talking about like a weather balloon?
Yes.
Yeah, well, if they get their way, they're probably going to say you got to put this $2,000 transmitter on it too. Oh, we got England. England's calling in here. Robin calling, I think. G1's calling in here.
Yeah, and you've got Earl joined us tonight.
Earl joined us. There will be pirate Pico balloons.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just going to keep launching them, and I'm going to put Glenn's name on them.
Oh, that's okay because I've been launching them and putting your name on them.
Is that right?
Yeah. How do you think they found you?
Oh, man. Hey, I was watching YouTube last night, and this is a pretty neat deal. There was a show in there on how to completely disappear.
I was going to say, can't we just maybe work this out so that we just put some of those eye tags on them?
I don't know. We got, let's see.
I think that the community has already done enough that there shouldn't be a problem with the amateur balloons. Good grief.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? I don't know. Hey, we got England on here. Who is that? Robin? I think it's a G1. Are you there?
Yeah, he's here.
Hello. Isn't it pretty late over there? Man, you must be skipping your sleep, man.
Can you see me?
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
yeah. See ya. Great picture. Let me change this picture here. Let's see.
Robin, you have a great ham shack.
There we
by
go.
the way.
There
Can you
we
see
go.
my shack?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Huge. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it there. Yeah. Well, here, let me put my ham shack on. There we go. All right. So how you doing over here, man? You are you a regular on the show, or you just recently pop in because of all this mess there, Robin?
Yeah, I'm good.
Robin, have you been watching the show prior, or did you just find out about it lately?
Yeah. I'm here. I'm in the UK. How you doing? How you doing?
Doing good.
What do you want to see?
All right. So still nobody yet on the phone.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of everything over there.
Yeah,
He
he does. He does. Where are you located, Robin? Where?
I'm in West Yorkshire, UK.
West Yorkshire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that is. I'm not sure.
I've got toys. You want to see toys?
Oh, yeah. Cool. Now, is that in England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in England. Okay.
Do you have an MHU?
All right.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, wasn't sure. I know.
Yeah, it's kind of late, but I'm 55. I've retired, so.
Oh, an early man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
early guy. I
Must be
retired
nice.
later than that, man.
Yeah, it goes to the shack. It's a junk shack. It's like there's radio stuff and there's test gear everywhere and things and.
Well, I like it. You got a nice looking shack.
Yeah. Come clean mine up.
Yeah.
No, I pop in from time to time. One of my best friends is Katie.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought maybe Katie might be on tonight.
no, I watch it loads of times. Katie Allen came to see me about 2 years ago. She stayed in York, and we took her around York and stuff. And yeah, it's like she's a
Yeah.
regular on your show and stuff.
Yeah, I remember when she went over there. In fact, I think she went to, was it maybe
And
Ireland?
Scotland.
Scotland. Where was it? Scotland she went?
Yeah.
Yeah, and to a club there, and we actually did a live video show with her there at the club. Yeah, I remember when she was
I've
over
got
there.
quite a lively shack.
Uh-huh.
I'm in West Yorkshire.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, Wakefield. So what we got here? I've got. I mean, I don't know what's missing here. Actually, there's some. Yeah, it is. There's one radio missing. It's in a bag behind me. It's a 705, but everything else is here.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So what kind of antennas do you have?
Yeah, if you look me up on QRZ, you'll see I've got a small tower.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a small tower with VHF, UHF aerials, and wire antennas for HF.
Good old wire. That's always good for HF. That's what I use is wire for HF. I've had a lot of good luck with them.
Yeah,
HF,
I had a
it's,
tower. I had a tower for many years.
And dipoles.
Yeah. I had a tower for many years, and I finally took it down, gave it away. I use all wire antennas now, and
I think
they do just as
There's
good.
a lot of delays going on with audio because some people may be mute.
Yeah. Do you still have YouTube turned on? Robin, do you have YouTube turned on, or is it muted?
I'm on Zoom.
Okay. Sometimes you get echo and delay if you have Zoom and YouTube going.
Yeah, we're having a
might be a
little trouble with your audio at times.
Let's try again. Hey, is that better?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So it's a basic shack in the UK. Well, it's not a basic shack, but I retired. My wife passed away, and I ended up with some money, so I bought a radio here. So we got 9700. I'm mainly into VHF, UHF. 7300 for 4 meters. 7300 and 7610, but I bought a second one because it's kind of neat to have a second receiver with the second VFO. Gives you like 4 bands.
Mm-hmm.
Electric audio and some sort of higher microphone-y thingy. What's we got here kicking around here? Legal limit amplifier, forward birth through lines, transverters for 77s and 2 meters, amplifiers for 2 meters and 70 centimeters, some spare rotators they're going to put up and do some more satellite stuff with. So, yeah, it's just it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but I'm going to do some more stuff.
Very nice.
it's a work in progress. I think all ham shacks are.
Yeah, we're never done with them.
Exactly. We're never done with them. Latest acquisition is it's a more comfy seat that I'm sitting in at the moment. And a new spectrum analyzer that I like to play with. I've got a few spectrum analyzers. There's probably 4 of them in here, but that's the new one. So
All right, we got your QRZ page up right here.
okay.
I'm showing everybody. Oh, there's where
Robin,
you
in
are.
the
You're
chat
up.
room, they're
You're up
asking-
near Manchester.
I'm about 50 miles, 50, 60 miles west
Yeah.
of Manchester, east of Manchester, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the antennas. There you go.
Uh huh.
Robin, somebody in the chat room's asking how much 7 meters do you work?
7 meters?
Yeah,
Is it
I think
seven?
it's got to be 4.
4 meters, not that much. I don't have an antenna up permanently for 4 meters. I just have to put up a pole outside with a 4 meter antenna on when I want to play more 4. But yeah, but
Yeah. Let me make a. Let's see. Let me do a announcement here. If I can. Someone said I need to put a area code number in front of that. Well, yeah, the country code is 1, guys. The United States country code, put a 1 in front of it. But look, we have phone numbers in 65 countries. Let me see if I can pull them up here. Hey, if you go to our website, go to contact. There's a link up here that says contact. And it'll have, over on the left side, it'll have phone numbers for you to call in. Click on international numbers, and here's some international numbers here. Let's see. Let me see if I can bring them up and let you see what the international numbers look like. Well, I got to get my stuff straightened out here. Hard for me to tell. Here we go. All right, so let me do a little adjustment here. I'll show you our numbers. If you can read these. Okay, these are our phone numbers, local phone numbers. If you're in Afghanistan, you can dial us at 93729880502. Let's see what we got. There's Brazil, Chile, Costa Rica, Estonia. Hey, if you're in Estonia, just dial us there, man. Germany. Let's see if we got a Russian number here. No, we're in the M's, NOPQ. Romania. Hey, we don't have a Russian number for some reason. I don't know what's going on here. Wow. We don't have a Russian number.
Have a shot, kitty?
We don't have a Russian number. If you're in Saudi Arabia, you can call us. You know, hey, there's a local number in the United Kingdom right there. The 44 number. You could have called us on that number, Robin.
Yeah. That's so good. So it's a sort of Alexa powered shack. We go Alexa rotators on, and the rotators switch on, and that sort of thing.
Ah.
And my Alexa heard that.
Actually, I actually am working on something like that.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, guys, they told me we do have a Russian number. We do. We've got a Russian number, and it's right there. It's we're in Russia. It's called the Russian Federation. +7 499 371 0724. If you're in Russia, guys, watching tonight, give us a call. If you've got internet and it's not blocked, you might give us a call there.
Speaking about Russia, have we heard from Raisa anytime soon?
I haven't talked to her. You know.
Saw her on air about 3 days ago.
Yeah, she's on and she's still doing things. I wanted to avoid all controversy, you know, and so maybe someday things will get better.
Yeah, I worked the Ukrainian station on Thursday, so they're still around. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, nobody is calling. I'll leave the phone number up. I'll leave it up.
don't buy one of these things.
What is that?
No, Heil parametric amplifier.
A who? What is it?
It's that Heil parametric amplifier.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. You don't like it?
It's like it's a magnet for RF.
Oh, is it?
Really?
Really? Because I love mine.
Yeah, I had to put so many capacitors and inductor things inside it to cut down the RF.
Huh. Now, I use mine for field day and have not had any problems with it.
All right, maybe they've improved them because mine was really bad.
Yeah, you ought
I
to
love mine.
send Bob a note and tell him you don't picking up too much junk.
I did, and I sent the details of what I had to do to make mine quiet, and it was like I did the shotgun approach. It's like every input and every output, I put capacitors and inline chokes, and it cured it. But don't know which line was actually bad. I just like hit it with a shotgun and went, I'm gonna go for every single input and output. But
No, I've really enjoyed mine. So
yeah, okay, that's good.
different shacks, different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see on the sort of EHAM, a lot of people have similar issues to the things I had, so I've been helping people out and going, this is what I did to mine.
Yeah, I mean, for me in 15 meters, it doesn't matter what I put on the air on 15 meters. I'm gonna have RF.
Yeah, okay. My
Always.
worst band is 40. I can't go above about 200 watts on 40 because the antenna's a bit too close to the shack.
See, and that's the other thing. I only run 100 watts.
Oh yeah, I do mainly, but I've got one of those ACOM 600S amplifiers, and I can run my UK legal limit, which is 400 watts. Yeah, it's a nice little amplifier. It's like no tune. You just power it up, use it, switch it back off again.
Yeah, I like those new solid state amps.
Yeah, it's good for that. It's I used to have an ACOM 1000, and by the time sometimes you'd warmed it up, you missed the DX.
But, I have to say, though, in spite of that, seeing those old 3500Zs glowing, I mean, that was just the height of it all. You had to have those things glowing purple.
I think I've probably had maybe 100 QSOs on the amplifier, so it's bang for buck. It's not working out very well.
I've always run barefoot.
Yeah, I do. It's more fun.
The only time I ran an amp was when Tom and I ran that Last Man Standing station a couple years back.
Yeah. And that was when they had so much RF noise. You had to have a lot of power.
Yeah,
So
well, we were on
to work the high power stations to get back to you because there was so much noise on the roof.
Yeah,
Well,
this was
Glenn
Tom's
wanted
shack.
to run at full 25,000 watt, but I said, man, we shouldn't do that. So we held
we
it.
were using
We
Tom's
held it
call,
down.
so-
We held it down to about 10,000.
Yeah,
Crank
well,
up
we
the
should call.
generator, huh?
Yeah,
If we'd have used my call, I'd have gone for the full 25K.
Yeah.
2.5K. Not 25. You got an NOV for 25K?
Well, it won't quite go that high, but it is a commercial grade. You can lay a brick on a key and come back a month later. It'll run, 1,500.
I used to have what we call a notice of variation on the call sign that allowed me 1,500 watts in the UK.
Yeah.
But it was only for EME. It was from a fixed location. It was they were very strict about what bands and things you could run on. It was basically just for EME experimenting.
Yeah, you guys got some weird rules over there, man. When you compare them to us, I mean.
Our maximum limit for most licensees at the full license is 400 watts.
Yeah.
So 26 dBW. It's our houses are closer together,
Yeah.
We've got more sort of EMC issues than you guys have.
Well, the rest of Europe is close by too, so you have to consider to those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a mate W4PG, Bob Patton. He's in South Dakota, and he's just bought himself one of those Japanese masts, you know, the 110-meter things.
No.
You seen them?
Uh-uh.
Look up W4PG/0 on QRZ.
Wait a minute, 110 meters. That's 330 something or 390 something feet.
Look at it. Have a look at W4PG/0 on QRZ.com and look at his new mast. You got it yet?
No, I don't type real fast.
Okay. Have you seen those Luso towers? Where the rotators at the bottom of the tower and it rotates the whole thing.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen so.
Yeah, my friend Bob's just got one of those.
All right. What was that call sign again?
Whiskey 4 Papa Golf /0, I think it is. Double check.
Holy,
That's nice.
You got it?
Yeah.
that's that monster tower that you see at Dayton with those
Yeah.
girls demoing.
Yeah. So my hand buddy from Florida just got one of those.
Holy cow. You could launch a Saturn V next to one of those things.
Is that cool or what?
It looks like a gantry from NASA. It really does.
You see what he's gonna put on it? It's like, oh my god, Bob.
Good grief.
He's already got a 100-foot tower in Florida with a Green Beam 32 step IR thing on top of it, and then this is his new shack.
Good heavens.
Is that impressive?
I wonder if I could get him to adopt me.
All right, let me. Hey guys, we've got about 5 minutes until end time here. Let me make an announcement.
Okay.
Let me make an announcement here to everybody out there. This program is Amateur Radio Roundtable, and it's a show about ham radio, shortwave, and electronics. And we're glad to have you tonight. If you're out there listening on shortwave on 7490 WBCQ, we'd really love to hear from you. Please send us an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. We'd love to hear from you. And hey, tune in next week, same time, same place for the show again. It's a weekly show. And we'd love to have you join our video show on Tuesday nights on w5kub.com at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's actually 0200 UTC on Wednesdays. So looking forward to seeing you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good night. Thanks for having me.
All right. Good night. And thanks for calling in.
Yeah. Yeah, 73, folks.
All right.
3. Hey.
Okay. Well, nobody called in on the phone lines, you know. So.
Yeah, you hardly ever get anybody to call in on that
Yeah,
thing.
no, I don't know why. I guess, you know, I don't know. Hard to say why.
Well, I'll be thinking about y'all this weekend in the cold and in the rain in Dalton, Georgia, at their Ham Fest.
Oh, is it going to be raining?
Man, it's the Dalton Ham Fest this weekend?
It is.
Oh,
It's always cold and it's always wet. It's always good.
I
Yeah.
did an Arduino forum there, about 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that's where I passed my extra. I did tech in general here in Chattanooga and did extra down there 6 months later.
Yeah, one of our club members, Jack Thompson, moved over there, and he's with the club over there in Dalton.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we share repeater space with them because they put repeaters up on Signal Mountain here in South
Cool.
Chattanooga. We hear their activity quite a bit.
Yeah, that's the neat thing about being on mountaintops is you can hear that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, from where I am, I'm north of Chattanooga, out in the suburbs, Soddy Daisy, on the Tennessee River, And with a copper J pole, I can hear all the way to Knoxville. I can't break the repeaters up there. The quiet code.
You can hit the Chattanooga repeaters from my QTH here south of Huntsville. I'm on a mountain, and it's line of sight over there.
Yeah.
Chattanooga.
Oh, I loved Birmingham. You know, we had line of sight almost to everywhere. I mean, we put a digipeater up in Mount Cheaha in Anniston and went straight into Atlanta from there.
Oh, that's a good location. Yeah.
Yeah, we were one of the first people to put a digipeater up there, made the link between Birmingham and Atlanta.
I'm 500 feet above terrain on the edge of a cliff, and off towards Chattanooga is a good path for me. And in fact, Memphis is good for me too. I can work sideband 2 meters into Memphis without any trouble.
I've got to get my station completely finished up, and I'm going to start working some 2-meter sideband.
I can work you. They had a 2-meter sideband net that they would hold every week, and there'd always be check-ins from Memphis that I could work.
Yeah, I keep planning on getting stuff done, but I guess I'm going to have to retire before I can play with my stuff.
What do you use?
But my tower is only 10 foot tall because I'm on the edge of that 500-foot cliff, so it's 510-foot tower. So
Yeah, you got it made.
it works out pretty well for DHF and UHF.
Yeah, I guess. I'm down by the river or the lake, so at least I have damp soil. Unfortunately, it's not salty, but at least it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what were you going to ask there, Earl?
What kind of radio are you using for that, for sideband, 2-meter
I'm
sideband?
going to be using a 9700.
That's what I thought you might say.
Well, I sold my Yaesu 847 so I could buy the 9700.
Yeah. You got it unboxed finally?
Finally got it. Everything is unboxed and in place.
Oh,
I
good.
just need to clean up the wires underneath.
Yeah, that's always a problem.
Yeah, well, that's next, but I'm getting there slowly but surely.
And the pages from your new book out of the way too.
Yeah.
Right. Gentlemen, I think I'm going to bail out. I
Yeah.
spent the day in the yard burning leaves and grass and cutting pampas grass today, so I'm about.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, we had
Well,
nice
I'm
weather today.
gonna turn it off too. Hey, good night, everybody out there. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Come back and see us next week, same time, same place.
Right.
All right, let's see.